Hi there, I'm Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts. Fabric today comes in more colors, tones, tints, and shades than ever before. So how do you get them to play nicely together? Today we're going to talk about color harmony. And if you stay to the end, I'll show you where you can download a free guide to help you keep it all straight. So stick with me and I'll show you how to do it. So what is color harmony? Think of it something like music harmony. You can put whatever colors you want together, but the way that our brains perceive color, plus we have cultural influences and short-term fashion trends, means that there's certain ways that colors work best together. It's not about right and wrong, it's about good, better, best. So you can color your quilt whatever way you want, but there are colors that are generally agreed to play nicer together.
So why do you need to know about color harmony? When you know about color harmony, you can take a pattern and change it to a color scheme that works for you. Say you've got a fabric that you really like, but it may have some tricky colors in it. If you know color harmony, you'll understand what colors will complement that fabric and you can build a quilt around it. Choosing borders and binding fabric will no longer be difficult because you'll understand what will work best with your quilt top. And lastly, when you're making quilts for others, you can ask specific questions about color so that you make a quilt that they want to receive.
There are 6 color harmonies.
So to describe color harmony, we are going to use the color wheel. Here we have the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors that we learned about in video 1. And they are arranged like points on a clock. And when I say you can use a color or a hue, please note that you can use the pure hue, the tint, the tone, or the shades. If you haven't listened to part 1 of this series, go back and watch it now. So type 1 is called analogous. It takes the color from 1 o'clock and often the color from 11 o'clock. The color in the middle is considered the dominant color, and the 2 on the wings are secondary. You can also have broader analogous stories where you're taking 5 colors from one side of the color wheel. Here are 2 analogous quilts. One uses very saturated colors and the other uses very desaturated colors. The second color harmony is called tetradic. Here you take the color from 12 o'clock and take the color from 2 o'clock, then pair them with the colors directly opposite. The color at 12 o'clock is the dominant color. In this color harmony, you use one pair against the other for contrast and highlight. This color harmony is often used to contrast warm colors with cold colors. These 2 quilts use almost the same colors but use them very differently. The third color harmony is called square. This is for a color at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then the ones opposite. This is very similar to tetradic as the colors work in pairs, but it's much less common. The fourth harmony is called triadic. We are using the colors from 12, 3, and 8 o'clock. This is one we're quite familiar with. This is the red, blue, yellow of the old primary colors. It's also the purple, green, orange of the secondary colors. Triadic color combinations are quite striking because they have very strong contrast between the colors. The fifth color harmony is called split complementary. You take the color from 5 o'clock and the color from 7 o'clock, and that balances with the red. The red is considered the dominant color, and the 2 opposite are complementary. This is a good color scheme to contrast warms with cold colors, and vice versa. When you use this color harmony, the color on the far side of the wheel pops, which gives some visual interest in your quilt pattern. The last color harmony is complementary. There are only 2 colors in this color harmony and they are directly opposite the wheel. This color harmony is very common because the contrast between the colors is so high. We see it in advertising, we see it on sports team logos and in flags. Having a color harmony with fewer colors can produce designs which are quite striking and easy on the eyes. You probably thought that we were done, but there is 2 other ways to color your quilt. With monochromatic quilts, we use fabrics with very little variation in hue. It's not considered a color harmony because there's only one color. This color story was common in days gone by when access to pigments was limited. Using strong contrast and saturation, quilters produced absolutely amazing patterns. This contemporary monochromatic quilt plays with blues, with more subtle variations in value and saturation. When you use fabrics with no color hues at all, this is called an achromatic quilt. This leaves only value to play with, and it can certainly produce some stunning results. If you don't already own one, I recommend you buy a color wheel. If you are new to mixing colors and color harmony, I recommend this one. The front is all about mixing colors, but the back is where the color harmonies are. By spinning the outside wheel, you can get all the combinations we talked about. If you are more experienced with color, I recommend this color wheel. It has twice the amount of hues and goes into good detail on tints, shades, and tones. So your homework for this week is to practice. Take your color wheel, line up the colors, just play with the various harmonies. Draw from your stash, get used to the various combinations, and have fun.
Now, if you go to my website, justgetitdonequilts.com, I have a free download of all these color harmonies under free patterns. There'll be a link down below in the notes. If you like any of the quilts that I've shown, I've put the links down below to where you can get the patterns. So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, and hard to believe, but 80% of you have not, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you hit that bell, you'll be notified when the next video is ready. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Just Get It Done Quilts. So take care, and I'll see you next time.